So now let's see how we can create the suitable sound design when we have a vocal in our video. So the techniques I'm about to show you in this lesson are suitable for maybe a poetry video, a speech video, motivational video, and so on forth. Basically any video where someone is talking and you just want some complementary sounds and videos to help deliver the message. So with these types of videos, we need to do the opposite, meaning that we need to focus on what's the most important, and that is our voiceover. So in the previous two sound design examples, we went for the videos first because the focus was the videos. But here we're doing the opposite, and we're going to begin by finding our voiceover. So I'm just going to grab something from freesound.org, search your type of voiceover. I'm going to look for poems. You can look for speech, motivation, anything else that you want.
I do not know who I am, yet I desperately want self-definition.
So I'm going to grab this poem, and it's by this person. And now based on the theme of this audio, the mood of the audio, and basically how it makes you feel when you listen to it, you want to choose the suitable music. And then finally, you're going to go to the videos and the additional sound effects. You can record the audio yourself. Just pick a topic, get a good distance from your microphone, have a quiet room, and begin your recording. You can do that easily on Premiere Pro. Clean the audio as we learned in the previous lesson, and then come back so we can continue with the sound design and just the editing of this example. So this poem that I have right now is pretty deep. It's not like a happy, vibrant poem, but more of a serious, and I guess it's talking about finding yourself and knowing who you are. So the person is talking about self-definition. And therefore, based on what I feel and understood from this poem, I can now go ahead and get my music. So pixabay.com/music or any other platform that you prefer. So choose your genre. We obviously don't want any upbeat electronics, but rather something more mellow. Let's give it a listen. So I ended up with the following search results. Sometimes you may have to download more than one audio because you're not sure which one would fit your vocals. Sometimes you have to put maybe 30 different musics underneath your vocals and test which one sounds the best. Finalize your selection, download all of them, and then we can test them out in Premiere Pro. So I have my selection, my vocal, and now it's time to go and look for my video. When it comes to these types of footage, the focus shouldn't be on the video. So I'm not looking to distract my audience from the audio, and therefore I need to just find some slow motion clips that are relevant to my audio and just have them play with the music. Since the audio is talking about not knowing who they are and self-definition, then we just need to go for clips that match the energy. I cannot have like a happy video when the audio is clearly sad. So we can go for like person in nature and just videos of people seeking something. For example, this video. He doesn't know who he is and he's looking for self-definition. This video is perfect. And notice how it's not that distracting. There isn't like a car crash happening. And it's just about this person in isolation. So this will be my first video. I'm going to choose my orientation so I don't get any vertical videos and only horizontal. So just have the audio play in your head and for it to set like a standard when you're choosing your videos. And I'm just going to keep looking until I find a good selection of videos. So I imported everything into Premiere Pro. We've got a lot of videos and some music choices for me to choose when we move forward. Now I may not use every single one of these, but it's good to have choices when I'm editing. So let's first decide which of these songs will go well with our audio. I'm going to make a new sequence. Let's go for a classic 1080p 30 frames per second and call it whatever you want. So in my poem video sequence, I'm going to bring in my audio. Then I'm going to bring in my first option. I'm going to switch to the audio workspace so that I can change the volume as I go on. Label each of the tracks. And now we can begin. Let's bring in the rest of the musics and label each one. All right, let's solo the audio and the first music. Go to our audio track mixer and lower the sound of the music because the focus is the poem.
I do not know who I am, yet I desperately want self-definition. I am trying to get us to abandon that terminology.
Alright, so this was my first music. It's not so bad, but let's give the other ones a try. This is audio track 3. I'm going to lower the volume just the same. So now we're working with the green track and the pink track.
Yet I desperately want self-definition. I am trying to get us to abandon that terminology. I am saying something inconsistent.
Alright, let's try the third one. Lower the volume. And let's listen from this point on.
I am trying to get us to abandon that terminology. I am saying something inconsistent. I am energized by students, encouraged by staff, and inspired by colleagues. I am speaking to a microphone, broadcasting my despair, but I hear no response.
So personally, I like the third option better than the first two. The first two were just sad, and there is some sort of hope in this poem. So I don't want to make it like that black and white, and therefore I will choose the third music because it has a little bit of an inspirational mood to it. Choose whichever you prefer and get rid of the extra audios. Let's bring this on, and we're pretty much good to go. Once you have everything set, be sure to adjust the volumes one last time and reset the empty tracks because we're going to put different sound effects and we don't want them to be low when we first import them. Let's go back to the editing workspace. So my sequence is now 4 minutes long. I'm not going to use all of the poem since it would be a really long lesson. Instead, I'm just going to comb through and cut the bits that I want. So let's take a look at the sound wave for the poem. See how clean the lines are? That's because the person who posted this already denoised and de-reverbed their audio, so I can simply just cut and stitch together the parts that I need. And once I export this clip, the audience will not even know that I have split this audio. So let's see which parts I want to keep.
Not know who I am, desperately want self-definition. I'm trying to get us to abandon saying something inconsistent.
So let's say I want to get rid of this part. Grab your eraser tool right here or hit C on your keyboard. Make a cut on this or select the clip. Go on that area, Command K or Control K. If we get rid of this middle bit, push this guy back. You can barely tell that there was a cut.
I am saying something inconsistent. I am
Let's try it with the audio alone.
consistent. I am.
So that's the perk of a clean audio. If you did record your own audio, make sure that the sound waves of your audio looks just like this and that you're not getting any background noise. That way you can trim it and do many things with it. So I'm going to kind of shorten up this poem so that we're left with maybe 15 seconds or 30 seconds. And that way we can keep the lesson focused on the techniques rather than the duration. So I just trimmed my audio into something like this. It's currently about 8 minutes long. But like we said, because it's a clean audio, I can just cut this up as many times as I need to. Now let's listen to the audio with the music. I'm gonna just drag this somewhere here. So we kind of have an opening scene and then it jumps into the poem.
I do not know who I am, yet I desperately want self-definition. I am trying to get us to abandon that terminology. I am saying something inconsistent. I am speaking to a microphone.
So it's also helpful for these types of videos to kind of divide the audio that you have into smaller chunks. So right here, this is like part 1 of my music. Then I'm just going to grab the rest and pull them towards the side, of course matching it with the music. But you don't want to play the entire audio all at once because that's kind of unprofessional and it doesn't help with it blending into the story that you're about to create. So now we have something like this.
To get us to abandon that terminology. I am saying something inconsistent. I am speaking to a microphone, broadcasting my despair, but I hear no response. I am not sophisticated, but simple, concentrated, and friendly. I am not well trained in smile. I am not well trained. I am not well trained in smile, but always curious. I want to help others. I am a little bit afraid that it might sound nosy to you. I am a visitor.
Once you're done, you can just split the rest of your audio and we can simply fade this out. Command Edge, Control Edge on Windows to fade the beginning and the end. We want to extend this so it has a slower fade.
I am a visitor.
So that's a lot better than this. This is the default duration you get, but you definitely want to make this slower so that it's a lot more clean. We can get rid of the beginning crossfade since the song already has that. There's no need to add an extra one. So now I have a base to work on. I have my opening here, I have my poem, and in between the poem I have some sections that I can maybe put some sound effects, a nice video, and just make this poem more digestible for my audience. So now let's put in the different videos. I'm just going to filter it based on type. There we go. So I have my videos below and my audios above. I'm going to start with this shot of the flower. Right click. set to frame rate. Let's go for the second audio, which I'm going to put in this clip. Again, make sure that you set to frame rate, just in case it's a little too big. Let's see what my third one is. So I have 3 different videos for my opening. Now I need to match it with the music and have it blend in better with this bass that we have. Let's play it back. So right at this piano key, I want to cut to my next clip. Have your playhead right on there. Split that video using your razor tool. I'm going to lock my audio track 1 and then ripple delete. So now on this beat, I'm going to transition to the second video. We have another one right here. Let's get my next video. Let's go with this one.
I do not know who I am, yet I desperately want self-definition.
So right before the second sentence, I'm going to cut the rest of this clip and put in my next video.
Yet I desperately want self-definition.
So based on what they're saying, I'm going to choose one of the videos where it's, I guess, more about the subject.
I am, yet I desperately want self-definition. I am trying to get us to abandon that terminology.
So just repeat this until you have filled your entire timeline with videos. You can cut them on where there is a new sentence, a certain beat within the song. I would have to get more clips since I'm running short. Then I'll be right back so we can continue. Pixels. I place them next to each other, and based on the beat and what the author is saying, I split the clips and got rid of the extra bits. So now I got myself a decent framework to work on. All that's left is to bring in those sound effects, and we should be ready to go. So just like the previous lesson, you want to make a list of the audios that you need. It helps to watch your video on mute so that you can focus on what's happening in each video. Now the thing about these types of clips is that the focus isn't really on the videos, but mostly on what the author is saying. So you don't want to grab any crazy sounds, any sound that is too loud and can overpower the poem. You always want to grab something that complements the vocals. So even for the videos, you probably notice that they're mostly slow motion and there's nothing crazy going on in any of them. That's because I don't want the audience to get distracted by what's in the videos and just stay focused on what this person is saying. So make your list, and now we can head to the platform to download our sound effects. I'm using freesound.org for this, but again, you can use any other platform. So I downloaded all of my sound effects, and now before I bring them into Premiere Pro, I need to organize my project panel. Then make a bin out of all these different audios. Now this bin doesn't mean that you're just deleting everything permanently. It's just meant to keep things organized. I'm going to call it music and vocal. Then drag all of these guys, put them into this bin. So I can always go back here and do my thing. But this way I can keep things more organized as I bring on more footage. You can do the same thing with your videos. Call it videos. Grab all of your clips. Be sure not to grab your sequence. The icons are different. This is a sequence. This is a video. Grab them all. Everything is organized. Now I can just double click and bring my different audios. So these are all in your resource pack. You can follow along or just grab your own clips and audios. So every video in this sequence is in slow motion, but there are some cases that we can use these different sound effects to bring the video to life. For example, in the first video, I just muted both the vocal and the music so that I can focus on what's happening. So here we have wind. Clearly, you can see the leaves are moving and this person is in nature. Let me just turn this into a list. So we have, there we go, we have a nature audio. I can just grab a tiny bit of it, then put it right underneath. Play this back. So you can see how it helps with the environment that the video is in. Just one audio and now your video is looking a lot better. Let's pair this with the music. So much better. I can continue this onto my second clip because the setting is the same and my subject is still in nature. My third footage is still of nature. I can just keep this going until here because we have no trees and this setting would just sound different. Let's just split the audio, delete the extra bits. And I'm just going to pull this down into a separate audio track. Because like we said in previous lessons, we want every audio to have their own separate track. That way, when I go to the audio track mixer, I will have an easier time adjusting the different volumes. So that's my audio, and because it's not a clean audio, meaning that it's mostly background noise, I will have to fade it in and out. So extend it past your current video so that we have enough space to fade this out. Command-H or Control-H on Windows. We can get rid of the first crossfade. Just keep the second one for as long as the next video plays. So this is where the video begins. Let's see how it sounds. Now let's bring the other audios. Just gonna label this real quick. Magenta is good. And now let's find my other areas. I'm gonna mute my audio. So here again we have nature. So I can just go back to my source and maybe grab a different section. This is a 3-minute long audio track. So it's pretty helpful for me to just grab it and put it in different parts of my video. Let's extend it here so it begins right before this video ends. Take a look at my next video. We can cut it here because I have a different audio for this scene. Command-H or Control-H. Let's bring my next audio, which is the bamboo plants in the wind. So normally in this setting there would be like bamboo plants, weed plants that are just being moved around because of the wind. So this audio is suitable. I'm gonna grab a tiny bit of it, grab it right here on a different track. Command-H. Next video, we don't really need a sound effect because it's a drone shot and we're clearly far away from the subject. next one, we have these two people that I think I can use. Let's see what this is. So I just have a sound effect of people talking. We have this laughter section that I'm going to keep for later, but this section where it's quite mellow, I can use it for this video. Drag it right underneath. Separate audio track. Don't forget to change your color so it's not confusing when you move forward. Gonna squeeze these guys back and make more space for the new audios. Because we're not going to change the volume here, but in the audio track mixer. So just by adding this audio, I made it look like there is a roof party and the camera is focused on these two people. But there are others around these two people talking about something. Command H, Control H, and let's end it. We can actually make it go into the second video and bring the laughter part right above. Let's pull it down, hold down Shift so you don't change the position. And maybe start the new audio right before the this video shows up. So here is a transition between video A, video B. I'm going to place my new audio in between them, Command H. So now we have something like this. I'm just going to slow it down. Right click, speed duration, maintain audio pitch. Let's try 70%. Gonna try a different part. And then here I can just bring in my seagull audio. There's a lot of seagulls. Drag this right underneath, again giving it a separate audio track. Be sure to start this before the seagulls video shows up. Command H. Let's give it a listen. And then we're back to the nature scenes. Command H again. I can use my park audio, but a different section. Let's go here before the video starts. Pull it back, Command H. Close it off right here. And I can also bring in the bamboo audio in a separate area. So they kind of play together and I have the suitable environment for my subject. If you're hearing the cut of the seagulls, you can just extend the crossfade so that it fades out cleaner. So now I have all my different audios, they're perfectly placed. The final step is to work with the volume and maybe add a cinematic crop. So let's move into the audio workspace. Go to your audio track mixer, make sure nothing is mute, and we're gonna begin by playing our video back. So in this part where we have only 2 audios, it's pretty good. I'm not going to do anything to it. But once you enter the area where there is the voiceover, the music, and different sound effects, you want to work with the different volumes.
I do not know who I am, yet I desperately want self-definition. That terminology. I am saying something.
I feel like my voiceover is too low. I'm going to increase it to 5.
I know who I am, yet I desperately want self-definition.
Audio track 3 is a little hard to hear. Let's get 1.6.
I desperately want self-definition. I am trying to get us to abandon that terminology.
This one's pretty good. Let's hear it with the
Think
voiceover.
inconsistent. Poor microphone. I am not sophisticated, but
So audio track 6, can't really hear anything. Bring that up.
I am not sophisticated, but simple, concentrated, and friendly. I am not well trained in smile, but
Track
always
5 is too
curious.
loud.
I want to
-2.
help others.
Seagulls. Let's see.
I am a little bit afraid that it might sound nosy to you. I am a visitor.
Alright. So this is pretty good. My volumes are set. One thing that you have to do when it comes to vocals
That it might sound nosy to you.
is to add something called audio ducking. It means that whenever there is a primary sound playing, the background noise or the secondary noise, which is like our music, it needs to be lowered. So right in the end, let's listen to it first.
I am a visitor.
So the sound of the birds and the wind is playing at a constant rate, even when our subject is talking. So what I need to do is to just zoom right in. And after my subject finished talking, I need to create keyframes for my 2 sound effects. So let's work with the wind sound first. Make a keyframe for level at 0 decibels. Go forward and pull this up to like 5 decibels because our video is finished and this is our outro. So what happened right now is this. It suddenly gets louder. Let me just click this so I can see the space. Increase the space so it's a slow and gradual thing. There we go. Do the same thing with the second audio. Click once, 5 decibels. I may have to change the number later, but for now let's focus on making them louder. Gonna unsolo that. There we go. You can also do the same thing for the music. It's a pretty common thing. I guess for the music we can go with a smaller number, such as 3 decibels. I'm gonna bring my playhead there.
A visitor.
So what we did right now, it's called audio ducking. It can also be done during your project. So for example, here your audio is 0 decibels. You're going to reduce it to maybe -5 decibels when the person is talking, and then bring it back to 0 decibels. So that's the technique which you will have to use whenever there is a primary sound playing among all your other sounds. To finish off my video, I'm going to put in the cinematic crop. So grab all of your videos, right click, nest. On this nested group, we're going to add the crop effect. Head down to Effect Controls, maybe 5% from the top, 5% from the bottom. And now I have the cinematic crop. You can add some color grading, some text. I will leave it like this, but fade out the beginning and the end by holding down Command D, Control D on Windows. Select your video first, Command D, and now it's going to fade in and then fade out. For the end, we can make it more dramatic and match it with the music. So that's pretty good. And now I have myself a really nice poetry video that I can share with my friends and family. So the takeaways from this lesson is the importance of your primary sound and the background sound. Audio ducking, we learned about that. And now that I know the base work of vocals, I can learn more about different channels, how to make a more engaging video with these vocals and other effects. So before moving on to the next lesson, let's see how the video turned out to be.
I do not know who I am, yet I desperately want self-definition. I am trying to get us to abandon that terminology. I am saying something inconsistent. I am speaking to a microphone, broadcasting my despair, but I hear no response. I am not sophisticated, but simple, concentrated, and friendly. I am not well trained in smile, but always curious and want to help others. I am a little bit afraid that it might sound nosy to you. I am a visitor.